Hi boys and girls, and welcome to the Crafty Corner. My name is Miss Lisa for the Fayette County Public Library. You have joined me for the Crafty Corner. So go grab your craft supplies and come with me. Today we are making this awesome paper chain little water dragon. I think he's so cute. All right, so paper chains are pretty easy to make. So all you're gonna have in your packet are some strips of color. We've already divided it up into two different colors. If you don't like that, then you can go home and make your own strips of color, or make sure you pick a packet that you like. So I originally made a yellow and orange little sea dragon, and so now we're gonna make a yellow and purple one. To make the loops, remember, just roll your paper together, put a glue on there and hold it tight. So I've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the links. So we've got the majority part of our body. Now in your packet, you are also going to have 2 half strips of paper. This is for you to be able to design the head, because our water dragon is going to have these big floppy ears here. And so you want to decide whether your ending is going to be one color or the other. And so I've given you both colors. You also are going to have some white so that you can make eyes and some little teeth at the end of his mouth there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make my next loop. So I'm gonna take my yellow and I'm gonna loop it through. I am going to put the glue, a lot of glue on one end, and overlap and press. Wait 10 to 15 seconds before you let go, so that you know for sure that it is on there nice and tight. Okay, so that is the main body of my dragon, and I'm going to use the head and tail as purple. And so this is a little tricky. This is the little part that's tricky. So I'm going to put it through the loop like this, and instead of rolling it to glue it, I'm going to lay it flat. Okay, does that make sense, boys and girls? I'm going to lay it flat and glue it together this way so that we have our snout. And if we want to have our snout of our water dragon a little thinner than the thickness of the whole paper, just take your scissors and cut off just a little bit on both sides. Okay, do you see how now it's a little bit thinner? I'm going to take my glue stick once again, and I'm going to put lots of glue on the inside and just lay the paper flat right on top of it. And that gives us, that's going to be our face. We're actually going to do sort of the same thing with his tail. So I'm going to take my other strip of purple down here at the end where the tail is, and I'm going to loop it through, and we're laying it flat on top of it. Don't roll it over. Go ahead and glue it. Press it. Now, if you notice the way I did my tail before, I sort of made it like a little flipper. So in order to do that, we need to cut out like a little triangle. So I'm going to cut in and go back out. And it's easier to do this after it's already glued. That way the papers are right on top of each other and they're not going to move. So then I'm going to do this, come back over here, and now we have the tail. I'm going to take some black marker and add some little lines in here so it sort of looks like he's moving. You could polka dot him, you could decorate him with stripes, you could do a lot of things on these loops if you wanted to. But let's get back to his face. So we're going to try to make our face similar to the one I made before. And so we're going to make some fins here. I am going to put my paper on top of each other. I'm going to cut it off so that they're both the same size. And then I'm going to angle them in, sort of like a triangle. So then that thinner part will glue down underneath, and that other part will be sticking out. Okay, did you guys see that? Does that make sense? So you're making this triangle shape with a blunted end, and then we're going to glue both of those in, and then his ears are going to be flapping out like that. So since they're sort of flapping out, I'm going to go ahead and put the little bit of lines like this on each of the flaps before I glue it in. So we're going to glue the top right here, and then we're going to slide it in and under. So put the glue here, slide it in, and hold. Depending how big you want them, you can slide them in a lot further. Okay, so we're going to stick this one in and hold it. Okay. Then I've given you a lot of paper. You don't need this much for eyes, but maybe you'll want to make some other decorations with the white. So I've cut 2 little squares of paper and laid them right on top of each other, and I'm just going to circle around to make the eyes. If you need to trace something, the eyes are about the size of your glue stick cap, so that would be something you could trace. So I'm making a little bit of an oversized eyeball. Before I put it in there, I'm going to draw some circles inside for the pupils. Here, just take your marker and draw another circle inside. Oops. Sometimes it's easier said than done, huh? All right. Glue this one eyeball wherever you want, and I'm gluing it a little bit down below the flaps of his little wings or his ears there. Okay. Then I actually gave him some eyelashes before, so make it more of like a little girl dragon. Boys have eyelashes too, I know, but sometimes on caricatures like this, it's fun to make them nice and long. All right, so then for our dragon, gonna have the nostrils here. You can give him some little wiggles around his snout. And then the last thing we need is a little bit of the white paper, and in fact, I'm just gonna use this, I think. Measure about how big that snout is. All right, I'm just gonna make a little rectangle, and I'm just gonna bump it up and down by making triangles, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down for his teeth. And this is a little tricky since it's so small. We're just gonna add a little bit of glue on there. And lift him up, stick that down underneath, and glue in a little bit of teeth right there. And there we have it. We have a purple and yellow water dragon. All right, I think he's adorable. All right, boys and girls, we have some twins here. What do you think, boys and girls? Here's our little twin water dragons. They would be fun to hang up somewhere in your room. All right, thank you so much for watching the Crafty Corner. I'm Miss Lisa for the Fayette County Public Library. Join me again next week when I'll have another craft for you to make. Thanks now, bye.